In My Bag Apparel and Customs. In My Bag is a brand that collaborates with talented artists from across the country to bring some unique and exclusive concepts to life at a reasonable price. For $15 off your first purchase, visit whatnot.com/invite/inmy_bag 2023. That's whatnot.com/invite/inmy_bag 2023 for $15 off your first purchase. And make sure to check them out on Instagram as well at inmy_bag 2023. Before we get into today's episode, I want to introduce you guys to another great podcast called The Better Call Daddy Show featuring Rena Freeman Watts. Each week, Rena interviews somebody and shares their life story. At the end of the episode, you get to hear from her dad, Wayne, who gives his perspective on the stories that were just told. Rena herself has some interesting stories as she's worked for such TV shows like Nanny 911 and The Jerry Springer Show, so you never know what you're going to get every time you pop in. You can listen to The Better Call Daddy Show wherever you get your podcast for free. Remember, smash those 5-star reviews as well. Don't be stingy with them. Did you know Google Images was created after Jennifer Lopez wore that dress at the Grammys? So many people were searching for her outfit, the search engine added the image function. I mean, I get it. Let's get back into it, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Playbook Podcast with Prescott Kelly. I am your host, Prescott Kelly. Today is Thursday, January 29th. Glad to have you back with us. We're doing double duty podcast duties today. We got the one, the only, LaShawn Brown. I want to have a day designated for when I have people on, like LaShawn Brown Saturdays, but it's Thursday. I don't have a cool day. I don't have a cool day nickname for it. We got to figure out something. LaShawn, I always enjoy having you on. It's been too long. How are you? What's going on with you? Good to have you back, bud.
I'm good. Ready to get a lot up off my chest.
When you
I say it's probably been since the beginning of the football NFL season.
I think that was the last time that you and I actually had the time to do was right before him. And it was funny because we talked a little bit off stage, but coming in, you go, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, no, you ain't.
Yeah, man. Just life, man. You know how it is, but don't let it beat you down.
For sure. So where do you want to start with this? Do you want to start with the Browns head coach? Would you rather start just the coaching carousel altogether? NFL playoffs or Bill Belichick? What talking point do you want to lean in with?
Let's start with the NFL playoffs because there's a narrative going around now. I kind of wish that the media didn't push it.
Oh, what would that be?
Drake May. he's having a Trent Dilfer-like run, and he's being heralded like he's the elite quarterback in the league. And I'm just like, he won the game against Denver. Congratulations. But it took a miracle turnover and one missed kick and one block kick against Denver to win.
Bro, I love you so much. Like, because so you've been on, I know that you don't listen to the show as much as other people do, but you've been on long enough where when we have these conversations, I don't believe in the over accentuation of rookie or second year quarterbacks being like, we automatically elevate them to this level, because CJ Stroud was somebody who his rookie year, we automatically anointed him top 5 dude. And I said, let's just pump the brakes. And Drake May, great regular season, easy. The thing is, I understand, like, you play who's on your schedule, right?
Yep.
You have to play who's on there. You have no control over that. And there's no power rankings. But if you use the eyeball test, saying easy schedule is not a slight. It's reality.
Mm-hmm.
And looking that good then, and like he has not been great in these playoffs. So I'm with you. Like we're too quick to pass it on, but I want you to keep going with your Drake May stuff, because I want the slander to continue, good sir. I'm not ready for you to do that.
Okay. Yeah, he beat Denver. He beat Houston, in which I'm like, let's just say if CJ doesn't turn the ball over 4 times, let's just say if it was twice, does the Patriots win that game? Because there was a couple times that the Texans, had the Patriots up against the ropes. So then that's when I'm just like, man, he's not showing me that he's that guy. Yeah, he's winning, but he's not, going blow for blow against the better quarterbacks.
You're winning in spite of, not because of.
Yes. And we got to give credit to that Patriots defense, man. I mean,
they definitely look better than what we like. They're not getting the credit that they deserve.
yep.
I don't feel like they're Denver's level caliber of defense, but it's not a bottom third defense by any stretch.
No. I'll say they're about a top 10, but at the same time, we got to think about like the quarterbacks that they went against when they played Josh Allen the second time. You mean to tell me you have a 3-touchdown lead and you blow that? You can't do that. You should not be able to. You shouldn't be doing that at all. So that's why like people had questions and everything, and luckily throughout this playoff run, they haven't played stellar quarterbacks. I'll just say that, stellar.
Well, that's the thing is like when we nitpick, and this is why the selection of stats is what people do when they want to bolster their own argument, but not what is true, because they say, well, they've faced, but the Chargers were at the 9th ranked defense. The Texans, I think, were what, two or second or first, or yeah, and you know, the Broncos. But you're not taking into consideration again the quarterback play. And the thing that irritates the hell out of me is that yes, the quarterbacks don't play against each other, but there is a level of that dude across from me, I know I'm exponentially better than. And even though we have our reservations about Drake May, I think that most people would take Drake May over Jarrett Stidham every day of the week.
Every day of the week, man. Like listen, that first drive for Stidham when he went down and scored, my phone blew up because everybody was just like, "Oh, Denver's going to pull this off." And I'm just like, "There's a lot of game left, man. Adjustments will be made."
That's the other thing that blows my mind too. Is like, whenever a team scores on the first drive, if you're just a fan, like you can't look at it objectively. You're just a blind fan, and like this game's over. I'm like, I know it says 7 points, but that's one possession. Could you chill the hell out for a moment?
Nope. You know how it goes, man. People are just, "Oh, Denver's going to the Super Bowl." I'm like, there's a lot of game left, man.
Let's pump.
Let's just pump the brakes here. And I'm going to criticize Sean Payton. I'm going to criticize him for calling a quarterback sweep in overtime against Buffalo. Who the hell calls a quarterback sweep in overtime? You do not have Cam Newton.
He's got all the faith in the world in Bo Nix. Why wouldn't he? He's the best. No, he's the best 29-year-old rookie quarterback we ever saw.
I was so mad about that. I text my one buddy who's a Broncos fan. I'm like, "You okay with that play call?" He was like, "No." I'm like, "Just give it to your running back. Get a couple yards. There's no reason for you to call a quarterback sweep. You're already in field goal range."
Can I ask you a question now that we're talking about quarterback sweeps? Because I know that wasn't the play call, but I want to get your – because I don't trust anything that comes from management in professional sports. Like when they're doing their press conferences, I don't believe anything. But the Drake May one where the offensive line – apparently, from what I heard, one person said Drake May made a great play. The other person said, Josh McDaniel on purpose said, call the wrong play, but you keep it and just make the play. Which one do you believe? Because I don't know which one, man. Like I feel like everybody just says what they want to make themselves look good. I don't know what.
In my opinion, like the quarterback is in control of that. He's in control of that. Like if you give me the wrong play call, I'm going off of what I want then, because I'm just like, in this situation, audible. Let's scrap that.
Because apparently, like, it wasn't like he went rogue. But there's two stories though. But the one that's supposedly sticking is McDaniel called a play, and he said to Drake, "Hey, call this play, but you keep it." So the offensive line and the wide receivers and everybody runs the route of what you called.
And he just keeps it.
Yeah, exactly. Which to me, I feel it's a very smart thing to do if you're really trying to trick somebody, to keep things organic of what the play call is supposed to be. But I just don't know if that's what really happened, because these people are known for making up anything to make themselves look great.
Yeah.
And
especially in that situation. I was like, it's what, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7? Normally you would just like, here, just give it to the running back, let our defense get to stop and close this game out. But when he ran it, and then the one thing I hate was the defensive end lost containment. Like, there's the one thing that you have to do, especially when you're the outside defensive end. Keep your eyes up there on the quarterback, and you got outrun by the quarterback. So that was like 10 times even worse, man.
I have to imagine watching a white quarterback outrun a
Yeah,
defensive
just outrunning you to the angle to get the
Yeah.
first down. I was like, that is embarrassing, man. Like, I get it that Drake May, he's athletic and everything, but there's no way a
Sure.
defensive man should be getting outrushed unless it's Lamar Jackson. And if it's Lamar Jackson, I
Yeah,
get that. But Drake May, that should not be happening.
So, so it's so weird because I've had you on beforehand, and I usually get a pretty reserved LaShawn. I feel like I'm getting the best version of you right now. Like you're animating, like I got so much.
Yeah, I'll say this is a lot of buildup.
I was gonna say we're building up, and we're gonna crescendo into that just epic crash out of Cleveland football soon.
Shit, man, it's the past few weeks, man. People were sitting up here making predictions on who's going to be the coach, but as soon as the Browns make a decision, they don't like it.
Yeah.
How aren't you going to like it? I'm like, it doesn't matter anyway, because are we going to win next season? No.
So I like that. Let's slide right into Cleveland Browns football. So they hired Todd Monken, right?
Yep.
So I want to see if my assessment is correct, because you and I spoke off stage, but we never talked about this. I feel like the pool of Cleveland Browns fans are split into thirds. Yep. I feel like 1/3 says, meh, it's just a hire. I feel like 1/3 says he used to play, or he used to coach for the Ravens. He's going to be able to, like, he knows the inside secrets. And there's another third who goes, what does it matter? We're awful anyways, and we just brought in somebody just to do it.
Yep. And
do I feel, am I fairly?
No, you're absolutely right about that, because that's what I've been going against 2 of those bases so far. Because I'm in the man. Right now it's just, I'm like, I can see through the BS that Jimmy's doing. The general manager wanted Nate Shieldhouse to be the head coach. Jimmy wanted Jim Schwartz to be the head coach. I have been told that from a media member.
And Browns fans wanted Deion Sanders.
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
Sorry, man. I had to.
Whew. That one, man, I was just like, you guys are blind. Deion can't even win in college. You think he's going to win in the NFL? He's going to get tuned out, I'll say, after the first month in the NFL. Because the players will see through the BS.
So I do want to say one thing. I know this wasn't on the talking points that you and I had off script, but I found it interesting. And now that we brought up Deion, or I did, but the fact that he's fining players now, do you think that that's a smart move? Because I think it's wild, because not NIL is a thing, and I understand that, but not every kid is making starting quarterback at high level money. I feel like this is a disingenuous thing that is going to have a lot of pushback.
I get why he's doing it. He wants to keep the players focused on the main thing. Hold them accountable. Because when you get to let's just say, even if you're a lower level player up there on Colorado, let's say you get drafted, you can't pull that bullshit off going into the NFL, because you're going to get fined. 9 times out of 10, if you're a scrub player at the end of the roster, they will get rid of you. So I get why Deion's doing it, but at the same time, it's just, I see it's going to be a copycat type of thing, because I can see other schools doing it. Because
the only reason why I think that other schools will do it, because like you said, it's a copycat league, it's a copycat system, is because Deion did it. Yep. He's so high profile of a figure because that's the whole thing, is if it works, if it makes the players show up on time, it's gonna be like, well, look what Deion did. And if it doesn't work and they revolt, it's gonna be, oh, these entitled kids just not listening to the adult.
Yep.
It's a lose-lose situation, and both a win-win at the exact same time for all of the parties involved, which is such a weird thing to have happen.
You're absolutely right. Like, when I first read about it, I was like, I don't know. But then after being told, like, some of these players, they are entitled, and some of them they don't want to be a team player. I mean, a lot of these players that's getting paid a lot of money is all about me. And what can I do to get to the next level?
Well, and I talked about that a little bit earlier with Logan because he's a Tennessee fan, and we talked a little bit about how the NIL stuff is kind of reshaping how we look at collegiate sports, basically. And I do think that there's the entitled players, and again, I work in sales, so I do know one thing is for sure is that if you are productive, you get different treatment.
Yep.
It's not so much entitlement, just because these kids who are going to play college football who want to play in the NFL, can they be entitled? Yeah, but it's also we see the talent. Yep. And the NIL stuff is, to me, like, and I want to get just to piggyback off of what I talked with Logan earlier, was I feel like NIL is a flawed system, but I think that it is one of the best things to happen to college football in a very long time. I don't feel like it's legislated the way that it needs to be. I don't feel like it's regulated the way that it needs to be, but we see every team gets to poach like one team from the Georgias, the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Alabamas, and you're not getting just these flooded 5-star recruits on every single team because nobody wants to go to Tuscaloosa just because. You're going there because it's a factory to the NFL. Now, if you can make money staying at home or with better weather, you can do that and then maybe still go to the NFL, or maybe you stay for another year and make more money than you would as a rookie. Like, I feel like NIL has been great, but it's just a flawed system.
Now, and then that's when I always say it comes down to development, because now when you want to get to that next level, especially these quarterbacks, like I'll say it was about 3 or 4 of them that went back that could have been maybe a first or second round pick, and they're getting more money with Neil. And in my opinion, it comes down to development. Now, what are you going to do to, to take that next step? Because if you struggle next year, those scouts and everything, let's just say you go from first round like Drew Aller to being a 5th, 6th round. That's a lot of money lost, but you made it up for it with the Neil.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, like when people say like, I get it to a degree because some people just want to say they want to dumb it down to, and I feel like the people who are the loudest about sports and say that sports is life are some of the dumbest people on planet Earth because they've never actually, and I'm not saying that I'm that person because like I played high school baseball, basketball, soccer. Like I played at that level. I never went to college for it. But the people who say that sports is life largely have not done anything to any kind of relevance, or just blindly say it and don't take into consideration anything else, because politics are part of sports, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you mean actually political or what's going on with the roster construction. Yep. Those things are an actual obstacle in what goes on. So with the NIL stuff and the kids who want to go back, okay, if you're not going to be a top 10 to 12 pick, you might as well go back, whether it's your school or somebody else's, and go make that money, because there's no guarantee that where you go in college, you get to pick. The NFL, you don't get to work that way.
You don't get that choice. You might go to Cleveland. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when people like Fernando Mendoza, I might go back to college. He's over here going, I wish a mother would. Like, I would love to go back. Honestly, it's probably, and I don't know if he's going to be a great quarterback. I know he won't be great with the Raiders, though, regardless of what you think of him.
Got to give him time. That's the thing, like, because you already know. Let's just say if he struggled his rookie year, people are going to throw him under the bus, like, oh, he's trash. I'm like, it's just his rookie year. Let's see what he can do in his 2nd, 3rd, 4th year.
But see, and that's the conversation piece that I've always had about Josh Allen, is that when he got drafted, people were like, this guy's cheeks. And I'm like, no, that offensive roster is cheeks. And I had no problem with them drafting him. I had a problem with them moving up because I feel like they weren't bargaining with anybody else given the landscape of quarterbacks at that moment. Yeah, but when we look at, but you're right, like if like Sam Darnold right now is the poster child of don't give up on the number 3 overall pick. But we also, man, it's one. I'm willing to admit I'm wrong when I'm wrong. Maybe he wasn't a complete bust, but man, I got 6 years of tape saying that you were cheeks, and I got 2 years saying that you were awesome in the regular season, and I saw last year's playoffs. I'm not willing to, even if he wins the Super Bowl this upcoming, not this weekend, but the weekend afterwards, just because that happens, whether he's great or not, my opinion of him is not going to change. Like, it's still going to be, you're same Darnold until I see you just be consistently awesome.
I mean, to win 13 games back to back in the regular season, I'll give him a smidge of credit.
I'm not gonna be so Grinch about it where I say he hasn't been good. But dude, it was 1 year, it was a year and a half because he was awful the last 2 months of this season.
Yeah,
he balled out last week, but it's just there's so much tape on him where I can respect that he's been good in these moments and he's been good. So I will move the goalpost on saying he isn't the absolute awful quarterback that I thought he was, but I am not going to do this. We did this with Geno Smith a couple of years ago when the Seahawks got off to a good start. And they're like, oh, well, Geno Smith is this. I'm like, nope. Pumpkin mode is right around the corner. And I still can't get, I can't get it out of my mind yet. I feel like he's going to do that in the Super Bowl still. I can't do it, man.
Now, what if he wins Super Bowl MVP?
Bro, don't even. I hate you. Don't.
I'm just saying because you already know what the media is going to do, man.
Well, that's the thing is like I know because this is what I hate about this. Like this entire thing is so goofy is because when we look at Matt Stafford, even we thought that. So I know that you and I don't want to like get bogged down in the weeds as far as like what everybody else thinks, but you and I feel. The eyeball test means something to us, right? It's not always just about stats. So when I saw Matt Stafford in Detroit, I never thought that he was awful. I never thought he was a bust. I thought the organization was dysfunctional because when you see when he goes to LA, the moment that he gets there,
he wins a Super Bowl.
The moment he gets there. So I feel like Matt Stafford is a Hall of Fame talent from the moment that I saw him play.
Let me ask you this, because I asked this last weekend to a few friends. If Matt Stafford wasn't a part of the Lions and he was at a good organization to start his NFL career, let's just say he was part of the Packers, and he still puts up these type of stats and everything, would you say that he's a top 10 quarterback of all time?
So that's the yeah, I would. But see, that's the thing is like when I look at these things, I don't like when people tell me that Emmitt Smith is a better running back than Barry Sanders. I don't care what you tell me. I'm never ever
agree with that.
Ever going to co-sign on that. I'm never going to.
Like
so,
I know what I saw.
Exactly. I was there for it. I was there. So I understand because yeah, it's just one of those things where I can see where like the talent is and you don't. Now, this is the pushback that people are going to give is that, well, you didn't have to sign there in Detroit based on what was going on and how the contracts work. That was going to pay you the most money. So can you put some blame on Stafford for staying in that position? I think that's a very fair argument to have is if you didn't want to, you didn't have to be there, but no one's going to trade for Matt Stafford, or if they're going to, the price is going to be just astronomical. And then the free agency market, it doesn't work that way with quarterbacks. Like there's not people who have that kind of cash just laying around all the time. And if they do, you don't want to go play for them.
Nope.
I'm with you, man. I do think, but to kind of put a bow on the Matt Stafford thing, I'm with you where like, I think it's asinine that people are putting into the realm of possibility. Like, well, what if he wins a league MVP and gets into a Super Bowl? Now is he a Hall of Famer? I thought he was beforehand. I think it's done.
Even before he won a Super Bowl, I was like, in my opinion, he's a Hall of Famer. He'd have been he would have been in a class like a Phillip Rivers. But in my opinion, he's more talented. He's done more than Phillip Rivers.
Their talent supersedes their resume.
Yes.
And it's not always there because that's the thing too, is that we say don't give these players power, but the players that know what they're doing, we give them power. Sometimes it works. But if the players can only do what their job is supposed to do. And it's not his fault that the only person that he ever had was, I know that Calvin, and that's the argument with Matt Stafford is like, oh, he had Calvin Johnson. Yeah. And then name another person besides Nate Burleson. Go ahead.
And look what he did with Cooper Kupp and not doing it with Puka Nacua.
It's just ridiculous. So I know that our votes don't matter, but I feel like Matt Stafford would have been he is the Hall of Fame talent. I just don't know if he get in, maybe not, but to me it should happen regardless.
Yeah. If it's not first ballot, that's okay.
Well, now that we speak about, that's a great transition by you. It's like you've done this before. Speaking of first ballot and Hall of Famers, this whole Bill Belichick thing. So I know when it first dropped, my immediate reaction was, I don't know how you leave him out, like first ballot. And we talked a little bit backstage about, there's some lifetime achievement awards. There's other people who their eligibility is coming up. The time clock is about to hit 4 zeros.
Yep.
Which part of the argument would be, well, if you had to wait that long, are you truly a Hall of Famer to begin with? Which that argument to me makes sense. But it's also, when we look at, you have to get what, 40 votes? 40 of 50. Yep. So one person didn't leave Bill Belichick out of this. And the thing is, it
was 11 media members did.
Well, the thing is that's what the floor is. It could be more, but we don't know because they don't disclose their votes. So when it's like when you go into a room, it's like, well, I voted for you, dog. Really? I asked 100 people, and every one of you voted for me, but I still lost.
But I'm not going into the Hall of Fame.
How the hell does that work? So I feel like that's what's going on with Bill, is that everybody's telling him, I voted for you. I don't know what's going on. It's just, man. So what's your thought about him not getting in immediately? Does it matter legacy-wise? What's your overall thought?
No, it doesn't matter legacy-wise. In my opinion, I mean, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Okay, he'll get in next year. It's not the end of the world, people. I mean, I get why the media people is against him. And they're going to be against Tom when he comes up, and they're going to be against Robert Kraft when he comes up as well.
I think it would be dope if they just had like a Patriots like Hall of Fame induction, and it's just like him and Gronk, and like they all go in together.
Why not do that? I'm fine with that.
No, but because the reason why that can't work is because that goes against the Constitution of the NFL. It goes against everything that we hold dear. As far as
we witnessed the greatest football dynasty of all time, in my opinion.
Do you consider that run one dynasty, or how do you label?
Yeah, it's one dynasty. It's one like it was a lot of moving parts, but we know who are the two main pieces there. So
yeah, I find it the thing. So you consider it one complete dynasty. So that's basically what, a 20-ish year run that is just encapsulated of
6
one
Super Bowls.
dynasty.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, because I'm with you when it comes to the Hall of Fame and things like that. I personally don't care. It's not my job. If I was an actual football player or an actual coach, it's my job. I would probably care more about it. But like, to me, as just a fan of the sport, I don't feel like it's not do or die. Like you were thinking. But I do think that it's interesting on how we categorize what a dynasty truly is, because you just said like it's 20 years of that. I'm like, I don't know. You went a decade without.
They went a decade without winning one. That is crazy.
Exactly, and that's where. Okay, so let me ask you this: what do you think is more impressive, the Bills going to 4 Super Bowls and losing them all in a row, or just the Patriots of doing what they did over 20 years? Because I mean, well, let's not do that, because 20 years versus a 4-year sample size is like, that's not comparing apples to apples. That's apples to, microphones. So and like, let's say the first 3-peat or the first, 3 championships that New England had. Yeah. Is that more impressive to you based on Tom Brady not being Tom Brady, but still winning, or the Bills getting to 4 straight and losing them all? Like, to me, the Bills
the Bills losing 4 straight is up there.
It's weird because like they had their own little mini dynasty without anything to show for it.
You had what, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and you went to 4 Super Bowls.
I think they had Coach of the Year too. Yeah, I think Mark Levy was Coach of the Year too.
You went to 4 Super Bowls and you did not win one. The closest was the first time they went against Buff. I mean,
the wide right.
Giants.
That lives rent free still, dog. Like, and I was 7 years old, and people still like message me wide right every single Super Bowl just to be jerks.
Whew. To come down to a kick like that, man, and you was the greatest offense in the league too. That was the crazy part. And who's the coach for that defense?
Nothing against LT.
Who was the coach for that defense? Bill Belichick.
Yeah, God, I hate you, man.
And that's crazy because it's just like he's been a thorn in a lot of teams' side, man, and it happens.
But no more than Buffalo. But when it comes to the whole this is to get back to Bill Belichick. So what? There's no way, because again, we know definitively that 11 people didn't vote him in.
Yep.
But we don't know if it was more than that.
Yep. If they disclose those votes, a lot of those media members will probably like deactivate their social media accounts.
Oh yeah, you have to do it. You have to shut it down. You know that Bob Ryan obviously voted for him.
He voted for him. Yeah. When it came out that it was Bill Polian, before Bill came out and said anything, I was thinking it was Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones told these media members like, "Hey, don't vote him, man. He had Deflategate, Spygate. We can't let in this cheater." So then that's why I was like, those media members probably took some extra money from Jerry and then vote him in. It happens.
I mean, that's I always tell people, man's got to have a code, and every man has his price.
And those media members got their price.
They got their price. I'm curious though, if we were to put the over under, because we know it has to be at least 11. You and I are betting, man. What if I place the over under at 14.5?
I'll go over.
Oh, you go over.
I'll go over. Because you got to remember, man, Bill treated a lot of the media members disrespectfully.
He did them. Yeah, he did them dirty. And this is what I it's so weird to me, because if you had this conversation and he was up for eligibility 18 months ago, nothing happens. It is you walk strutting, pulling your cane. As you walk down the red carpet, you are in no matter what. But the fact that you left the way you did, the way that you went to North Carolina with your goofy girlfriend and everything else, like all of a sudden in 18 months, now all this, that's how we have gotten down to the immediate response is, or what you just did is now the best or worst thing you've ever done. That's now we're going to take accountability, and now we're finally going to hold, like, you were mean to people, so now you can't get in. We thought it was hilarious.
It's always been that way.
We thought it was hilarious when you said we're on to Cincinnati, dog.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden you're emotional and you're going to take it out on them because of it. I mean, the only player I can think of that comes to like Bill Belichick is Terrell Owens. Because the media always brought up something against Terrell Owens. And when it was his time for the Hall of Fame, they didn't vote for him. And he had to wait, I think an extra 2 or 3 years. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And this is what's so weird to me is that if the Hall of Fame is supposed to be based on just what you did on the field.
Yes.
We don't care about the kind of person you are, what you did. You're supposed, like, just based on merit, we are supposed to be able to recognize and appreciate what you did. Your feelings, I'm sorry, your feelings don't matter. Is what I thought it was, but we've seen it's not baseball. Baseball has a morality clause. And that's the reason why we'll never see Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame, which is stupid, but they have it written in their dialogue.
Yep.
Yeah. So like the Major League Baseball deals in morality. The NFL does not. And the fact that they're picking and choosing when to do it is just a little weird to me.
It's hypocritical. That's why. I'll say this. Who Antonio Brown. He's going to be coming up in a few years. You know,
He's
doggone
not going
well.
to be first ballot, though.
What's that?
He's not going to be first ballot. I know that.
I don't think so he's getting in at all.
Whoa, really?
I don't think he's getting in at all.
Cheated.
What's that?
He never cheated. He never
he never cheated, but it's the way that he treated media.
Dude, it's so weird because like initially he was such a fun, charming, engaging guy. It wasn't until like the last 3 years and a couple of years out of the league where we got to see the transformation of it. Well, it's so weird too because there's only one play that I can think of where on the field I go, that guy might be a little psycho, and that's where he jump kicked a punter
against the Browns, man.
That's the only play that I ever saw when like he might be unstable, but everything else was off the field.
On the field, outstanding in the regular season. The playoffs, the only playoff game that I say that really stands out was against the Jaguars. Other than that, he didn't stand out in the playoffs. And that's why, like, when the playoffs came around for the Steelers, with the outstanding offense they had, they came up short.
You don't put any of that on Ben. I mean, I'm sure that you do, but
yeah, you know I do. You know how I am with these quarterbacks, man. Listen, if you're not winning, man, especially when you're in control of everything, if you're not winning, yeah, I'm looking at you sideways. Like, you should not, in my opinion, you do not have to have everything perfect around you.
Well, to get back now, I want to kind of circle back because we didn't spend a whole lot of time on the original talking point, the A block, if you will, which was the Browns head coaching hire. So what was your thought process on, like, one, do you care? Do you agree with it? I know that for some people it's a delicate business, right? Because do you hold out for somebody who might get let go or might want to leave who's still in the playoffs, or do you want to grab the guy that you think that is going to do what you want organizationally? Do you think they did that? Do you think they acted premature? Do you think they got the right guy?
I won't even say he acted premature. Is he the right guy? I don't think he is. I mean, I get the thinking because after seeing that he wanted Shador in Baltimore, that's the wild card right there. That was the big joker. That's the reason why he got the job, was because he's
Monken wanted Shador.
He wanted
really?
Shador. So he's the quote unquote quarterback. I won't even say of the future. He's just the quarterback of next season. He has to prove himself. If he does well, if the Browns are selecting top 3, I'll say this: if they select in top 5, they're choosing a quarterback.
So, like, if no other trades are done, because where are the Browns drafting right now?
6 and 24.
6 and 24. Do you see them coupling those to go up to get? Because Mendoza seems like he's the obvious pick for whether you believe it or not. Like, I didn't believe that Baker Mayfield. I woke up, I think that you and I have had this conversation. I woke up draft day and I saw Baker Mayfield, Michael number 1. I'm like, get the hell out of here. There was
me and Lavelle, we were in the movie theater. We were going to see Infinity War that night. And
we are getting old.
The notification came across my phone that we selected Baker Mayfield. I looked at Lavelle and I was like, this ain't it, man. This is not it. Here it is. We're thinking it was going to be either Sam Darnold or Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield just came out of nowhere.
So at that point in time, you guys thought that Josh Allen could be a number 1 overall pick?
He was in the running. He was in the running. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they picked the 4th best quarterback in that quarterback class.
I just thought it was weird because going into the actual draft day, I heard nothing about Baker Mayfield being the number 1 overall pick. I heard nothing about it. And then I woke up at 8:00 in the morning and I see that alert. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way this is happening.
All because they said, the GM loved his moxie. I'm just like, moxie ain't gonna win, Super Bowls, man.
Well, the thing is that I like Baker. I think he's a fun dude. I think he's a good quarterback, but like, it's just, again, my college analysis, and I have no problem stating this on the front end, is that my college analysis is not good because I don't watch anything. When I watch the NFL and I'm not you, Like, I'm not a savant. I don't really understand all the ins and outs, but I know enough where I can see that's going to work or that's not. And I saw Baker Mayfield without any preconceived notions that he would be in that spot. Go, okay, this is going to backfire somehow.
And it backfired. It backfired. Like after his rookie year, like people were like all in upon him. Just like at the time, I'm just like something just doesn't feel right here. And like some people, they'll give me credit because I wasn't bought in upon him. I just didn't see it. I'm just like he wanted everything perfect around him, and he wanted everything his way. And I'm just like, you can't do that. You're not going to win.
No, there's that's the thing too, is that we talk about NIL and how these kids are entitled. And look, for me, I don't know how you feel about this, but I just wish the NFL draft, it's fun because the draft it's a fun thing to do, right? It's an event. It's almost like when you're doing your own fantasy league, like you get all your buddies together, you watch draft, you make your own draft. It's a spectacle on itself. But to me, I wish that the draft didn't even exist. I wish that it was just free agency altogether.
Ooh. That's ooh.
Now you can, the thing is,
but at the same time, there's a
salary
salary cap, so it's just not like you're going to go out there outspending everybody. That won't happen, not for a rookie.
No, but I think that's the thing that would actually push ownerships to be more smart, because like we see, so like Philadelphia, they work the numbers where it looks like they're not paying anybody, but they are. It's just the money is due regardless. It's just not due right now. They are going to be in an awful situation in like 2 years. They're going to be in just the one of the. Remember when the Saints were like a 5-win team and they were paying Taysom Hill $30 billion and they had no actual talent? It's because they mortgaged everything. The money's still due at some point. It's just you're just manipulating the numbers.
Oh yeah. And the Browns are doing the same thing with the Watson contract. It's going to come due.
What is their plan with that? Are they going to restructure it where he still owed the remaining money and just
this is his last year coming up? Like, okay. I think it's like $80 million that he's due, and he's getting next season. But they can release him going into 2027 after that. And what after that, it'll be like 30-something million after.
80 million American dollars for Deshaun
because they restructured it like 3 times already.
Oh, have they? Dude, that is bananas.
That's why I was just like, this capology stuff that the NFL is doing, like, you don't have to give them all the money up front, but on that back end with the voided years, yeah, you're going to be paying them. That's what Drew Brees did. But he got what, 25 million in his last year, and then when he retired, they still owe him another 30 million. And I was just like, I would have done the same thing.
It's not quite Bobby Bonilla.
No.
But no. Well, that's the thing too. Is like, so we're kind of cross-pollinating sports, but it's like what the Dodgers did with Ohtani, is that they paid him basically $30 to play this year, but they're going to pay him $900 billion on the end of his deal.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, for that franchise, it's fine. There is no salary cap in baseball. You have the ability to do that if you want to, but like the Marlins couldn't do that.
Nope. Because in my opinion, it comes down to the revenue and your TV contract. And we know the Marlins don't have a strong TV contract. To hear
they do not.
Dodgers, they're getting what, $330 million from their TV contract a year. Man, yeah, I'll go ahead and write some deferred contracts to these players. I mean, it's smart for those players to take it because when you're done playing, you're still getting paid.
Exactly. It's just early retirement.
Yep. That's the way I look at it. Bobby Bonilla just started it. That's all it was.
He was so ahead of his time.
Way ahead of his time. That's why it's like when he got Bobby Bonilla Day, I would love for me to wake up, not have to go to work, and I get $1.3 million into my account. Yeah. I would love that.
So as far as As far as like the actual coaching hire, though, do you think they should have waited for somebody else? Do you are you just at this point where, because as a Bills fan, I'm kind of broken. I want to get your position on on the Bills as well. But do you even care at this point, or
I do not care, man. I'm just like going into next season. Good luck. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, we got some talent, some young talent up there on the team. I'm hoping that they can solidify the offensive line. That's all I want.
on a scale of 1 to 2008 Britney Spears, how crazy was the Steelers hiring Mike McCarthy?
Oh, it was so crazy because I got that notification. The first thing I thought of was my mom, and I'm just like,
Really?
if she was alive, I'm like, I would love to hear her thoughts because she was a
Steelers fan?
Steelers fan. Yeah,
Okay.
so I would have loved to get her thoughts, and knowing her, she'd have like, the hell we hire him for? And I'm just like, I would love for them to have a losing season next year. But if that happens, they'll probably get rid of McCarthy.
That I was thinking the exact same thing, because it's such a weird thing for you to be so attached to. We haven't had a losing season, even if you're 500. And
Yeah.
I posted the Spider-Man meme. Like, it is McCarthy, Harbaugh, and Tomlin are the almost verbatim, like the exact same head coach. And it kind of went over some people's heads, but they all have one ring. They all did it early in their careers, and they all have about 170 wins.
Whew.
They're just the same person.
Yeah, I agree with that. That is so, whew, you hit the nail on the head with that one. You hit the nail on the head with that one. It's
so your mom, what do you think that she would have said? Like, besides the whole, like, it's crazy. Is she not a Tomlin person, or does she?
oh, she loved Tomlin.
I'm sorry, McCarthy. Is she not a McCarthy person?
She would not have been. She'd have been like, you spent all that time in Green Bay, you only won one championship, and you went to Dallas and you didn't do anything. Yeah, you're just a waste of time here.
That's going to be bad for the audio, but the video, if you saw, it was that silence was just LaShawn shaking, going, nope.
It's not. I mean, I will be very surprised, especially if Aaron came back for next season. I would be very surprised if they make the playoffs.
Well, the hire to me just seems odd in its entirety. It's almost kind of the same thing with Buffalo. Like, the hire doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't have a problem with it necessarily. Joe Brady, we'll get to that, I guess. But it's so inconsistent with what you've always done. Why are you changing not the narrative, but why are you changing your position of, we usually get young guys and let them have?
I thought they were going to get Chris Shula.
I thought they were going to get Jesse Minter.
And he chose Baltimore. I couldn't believe that one. I could not believe that he chose them. I thought saying, he would have.
Are you? Well, to me, like the timeline, it's just, if you're going to stay consistent with what you've always done, you're Pittsburgh. It's defense. It's run the ball. It's, we get a young guy and we let him
grow into the job.
We let this thing cook for 30. It's the brisket of NFL coaching. We're gonna do it low and slow. You just get to be here, dog. But they pick somebody who's already dried out brisket and McCarthy. It's a weird, and like you said, with having Aaron Rodgers being part of the situation, it just, to me, I don't think it's an awful hire. I just think it's weird for the position of where he is, like, for the location.
Yes, I agree with that. That's. Whew, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, are you just gonna waste more of TJ Watt's prime now? Because
don't you defend TJ Watt now?
I'm being serious. Like, he's about to be 32 years old, and you tell me that you're just gonna go with Mike McCarthy instead of just getting a young and up and coming defensive guy.
Do you think? Because at this point in time, I do believe that the Steelers, to me, they're just a floundering franchise. They're just there. They exist. They're not bad. They're not great. They're just kind of there. Do you blow it up? Like, as far as TJ is concerned, because the thing is, like, TJ is getting up there, Cam Hayward's getting up there, Rodgers is so over the hill.
He's cooked.
He's done. Like, there's nothing exciting like, to me, there's nothing exciting about that roster. I feel like you almost have to just blow the whole thing up. And what we've seen in years past is like when the Steelers are bad, they always seem to hit on a quarterback. They do it with Brad.
They might just do that, knowing them. They'll probably get like Ty Simpson in the first round.
Well, so that's the thing is like, do you see them tanking? Because that's the only way that I think the McCarthy thing makes sense, is that you have to get a head coach. Yeah. Because like you just have to have one, right? So why don't we bring in a name that people recognize? And it's not a long-term plan. Rodgers is going to be done. Watt's going to be done. Hayward's going to be done. Why don't we just suck for 1 year and then we'll fire McCarthy and then we'll bring in our quarterback and then we'll get a new head coach, younger head coach, and get back to what we are. And let's just try to make Pittsburgh fans feel good about something.
I mean, technically, what this next draft it is in Pittsburgh. So why not?
Oh my God,
why not start it now? Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Why not start it now?
But where does Pittsburgh? Where are they? Like they're in the early 20s, right?
Yeah, the early 20s. Yep, because they lost wild card weekend, so they'll be picking like 23, 22nd.
I don't know, man. Like I just, whenever anything happens, I feel like there's a deeper reason than just, well, we think that he's the guy. I don't think that anybody really feels like Mike McCarthy's the guy. I feel like they think that he's a guy.
Yep. But he's in my opinion, as I call it, he's a candle holder for the next guy. he's just holding the candle for the next guy. I was just surprised they didn't get a young defensive guy, because that's been their MO, is their defense.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Like I was saying, is that it's so off brand for them, and we know that it's more of an offensive league now. You need to have the quarterback, the coach, them being blah blah blah. They need to be on the same page and everything like that. And it would make sense if you had a younger quarterback. Maybe that's the reason why you bring in McCarthy. But because of the dynamic with him and Rodgers, that doesn't make sense. And or you already know that Rodgers isn't coming back, and that's the reason why you hired him, is because you're not going to have that conflict. But
why not?
There's so many things that I don't understand about this move. And speaking about things that we don't understand about moves, thumbs up, thumbs down, Joe Brady being thumbs up, because you don't have to worry about them getting a Super Bowl still.
No. I'm happy that he got promoted, because before Penn State made their hire, I thought Joe Brady would go to Penn State. He's an alum for Penn State.
That's what I thought too.
Pagula is the big donor to Penn State, and I thought that would have helped. But Pagula gave him a promotion, and he's a great offensive play caller. I just wish that Brandon Beane
didn't get a promotion.
Huh?
That he didn't get a promotion?
I wish he didn't get a promotion. I thought if you're going to fire McDermott, you should have fired Brandon Beane too, because they came in together pretty much. Well, McDermott picked Beane. So why not just clean house, get a new GM? You got Joe Brady, go from there.
There's so much about that press conference. I'm not sure if you saw the live that I did last week or listened to the episode, but I feel like I didn't say this. I don't believe I did, at least. To me, the Buffalo Bills are slowly becoming the Dallas Cowboys, where all they want are yes men. I think that Pagula is transitioning into like a younger Jerry Jones, and I just want the comfortability. I want the familiarity. And that's why Beane is getting a promotion, because you can't say the things that you said about Keon Coleman and say it's a coaching decision when your coaches were McDermott and Brady, but you gave the GM a promotion, and the guy
I was so shocked about that.
One, to do it publicly is crazy, and the fact that I took it as when the owner interrupted, the general manager said, "I got this." That to me was, when I heard that, I instantly said, Brandon Beane knows where every skeleton is.
He's a puppet.
In his closet.
He's a puppet.
Exactly. He knows exactly where it is. And that's why he got this raise. He's gonna be on the payroll for as long as he says, yes, sir.
Yep. You see it. You see it. I was like, when I
was
heard the press conference, I was like, man, these owners, I'll say him, the Baltimore owner, those press conferences, they were wilding. Normally you don't hear owners talk like that.
No, they getting brash, dude. They're getting
real brash and they getting cocky with it now. So that's why I was like, if I'm the media, I would have probably like pushed his buttons. I'd have kept going. I'm gonna make you kick me up out of here.
I think that it was so laughable to me that he wasn't pushed further on it, because I'm with you. Like, if your job is to do that, because look, don't get mad at the very nice lady in Jacksonville who's trying to congratulate somebody. No, what you're doing, that man overexceeded expectations. You congratulate them, you move on. This guy, no, you fired somebody who shouldn't have been, you promoted somebody who shouldn't have been. You need to be on their neck.
Whew. You preaching. Because I thought I'd have just been like, hey, what do you mean by this? How did McDermott get more power over your GM, who you just promoted to draft a wide receiver that you wanted, that Brandon Beane wanted? He was up there on camera saying, "Oh, we love that he ran a 4.5."
Exactly.
Puppet.
Exactly. He's
a puppet.
It's so infuriating, because when, like, you and I are on enough sports pages where we see people say, "Well, the GM already said, the coach already said." I'm like, they're lying to you to make you feel better, you dummy. Like, how do you not see through this?
A lot of fans don't see through the bullshit.
It's just wild to me.
It is, man. That's why it's like when coaches does press conferences and they get a hard, difficult questions, and you know that they're spinning their way around it all the time.
We're on to Cincinnati again.
That's why I kind of get mad at the media, but at the same time, some of these media members, they are bought and paid for by these owners. They are paid to write these fluff pieces. Any like negativity, some of these owners can revoke their
credentials.
Yeah. So I get it.
We saw that with McDermott, because that's the whole thing, is what's alleged. And again, I don't believe everything that I see, but I do believe this is that the moment, like when McDermott started questioning the structure and what was constituted as their roster, that it wasn't good enough to win a Super Bowl, that's where this thing really started to get more tense. And once you didn't have the yes man, you booed him out. And that's why, like, I can agree with everything you said about Joe Brady and his play calling ability, things like that. But I feel like it's a disingenuous hire, I feel like this is going to be a place where in the long term, Buffalo just stays where they are. They're going to be a divisional round team for the next 5 years.
Oh, man. No, man, we're not burying them like that, man. They still, as long as Josh is there, they got a chance.
But again, to get to the divisional round, I think so. I know it sounds like I'm being bitter, but I'm being a realist. Is when it's like, if I'm saying that the floor for this team is divisional round, I feel like that's a pretty good team, mostly because of Allen. But if you couldn't get over the hump because you needed somebody that could be better at clock management, who could do the right thing in the right moment, I don't know if Joe Brady represents that. I know that he has the relationship with Josh Allen, but Brandon Beane has proven time and time again that he's going to fail you on the roster construction.
I was just about to ask, like, how is the roster construction going to go from here?
Well, because the thing that, and this is what always, God, it's so dumb. I'm glad I have somebody to talk to about it, because when I just do it in front of myself, it feels weird. But when people say the Bills have a great defense, I'm so tired of that.
Who said that?
Everybody does, because, like, well, they have the best pass defense. No. So the thing is, everybody, because you can see it on paper when it's a standalone game, and you can see how bad the run defense is.
I was about to say, but what about the run defense?
The run defense is awful, but the thing is, like, when it's a stand, and this is the thing, people love Josh Allen. They watch Josh Allen. They don't watch the Bills, and that is why I come with such ferocity of put this man on deck the same way that you would anybody else, because
you don't have any pass rushers, man.
The thing is, if I had the opportunity, if I were the GM, I would have given AJ Epinesa way more reps. He would have been my starting left end 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that dude is he's an underrated, undervalued pass rusher. Now, because right, they need somebody. They went and got Von Miller because they knew that was something they needed, but you got him when he's 90 years old. You went and got the same thing with Joey Bosa. And I make this argument all the time with Bills receivers and the Ravens receivers. Just because you address the position doesn't mean you did it well. Like, you need an edge rusher. Okay, let's go get Bosa when he's 92. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, because you're right. They need a pass rusher, and they really need everything when you think about it. Like the pass defense numbers are such because if your run defense is that bad, why would we throw?
Why would you throw the ball?
Exactly. And you're not blowing anybody out to be able to give up bad passing numbers too. So it's just but people always say the Bills defense is great. No, the secondary, it looks good, but Tre'Davious White is he's way too old.
Up there.
Micah Hyde, Jordan Hyde wasn't there this year, but Poyer, I don't know how good Hairston really is. I think Bishop is going to be a good safety, but
I was going to say Bishop is the one that stood out to me more.
I think that he is going to be really good going forward, but that entire defense to me is just a bunch of dots.
This is an important offseason for your Bills, though, because now let's just say if the Patriots does win the Super Bowl, Terry's sitting up there in that office, he's mad as hell, because he's gonna be like, "You mean to tell me I got the quarterback that I wanted, and you mean to tell me I have not won one Super Bowl? I haven't even gotten back to the Super Bowl."
It's going to be – this is to be completely – I know for me, because I think I spoke about this with Logan, this is probably maybe I spoke with you. All my takes and all my podcasts are running together now. This is the worst possible outcome for a Super Bowl. But the Patriots and Darnold, I look like a dummy no matter what, and I don't appreciate it. Because I'm right about most things, but this I'm in a real
up there. This hurts you. Ooh-wee. But then that's when people are sit up here, this could be a start of another Patriots dynasty. And I'm just like, what are we doing here?
So
it's still the AFC, man.
I love that you brought that up. And the reason why is because you and I know that your time, not even just on Earth, but being a franchise that is relevant, is finite, right? Yep. There is no infinite number that you can just make this thing go for as long as we pretend to be. So dynasty is dynasty and generational talent are two phrases that we throw around way too flippantly.
Way too often.
So the thing for me is when we talk about these quarterbacks, everyone has told me, and I'm like, well, if you just use common sense, history will tell you that this can't be possible. It's like, well, of course Lamar's going to get one. Of course Rivers at his time. Of course Allen. Of course Bo Nix. Of course, Herbert are going to get Super Bowls. They're all basically 30 now. The likeliness of all of them getting one is basically zero.
Because we do know, saying there's a good chance that Mahomes will wake up again.
Oh, do I think the Chiefs are going to be the best team in football next year? No, I don't believe so. I feel like there's still some retooling they need to do. The rehiring of Bieniemy, I think, is being overstated. I'd like the hire and the rehire, but I think it's being overblown. Mahomes is the guy who really makes everything work there, right? And I do believe that within the next 3 years, they get another one.
Yeah, I agree with that. But my thing is that like you're gonna have teams like Philly, Dallas, especially with quarterbacks that's getting up there. They're thinking, saying that that their opportunity is coming, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's tough. It is tough in the NFL.
I just don't understand like how the common sense doesn't come into the application of just because you don't win one doesn't mean you weren't great. You're like maybe you're not Hall of Fame worthy, but we see people get rings who don't deserve them. Congratulations, you suited up, but like you weren't part of the reason. But it's just using the math. There's 32 teams, there's one champion, and your shelf life is but low end 2 years, high end. I don't want to use Brady and Breeze because those are the outliers, but like maximum, it's like 10 years.
Yep.
Not all your favorite players are going to get a ring, especially your favorite quarterback. I'm sorry to throw salt in the wounds of you guys who aren't Chiefs fans, but it's not likely going to happen.
Like I look at Joe Burrow. I'm thinking, in my opinion, he should get traded. If I'm Mike Brown, I would trade him right now.
That's the Browns in you, though. You want him out the division. Like,
No. I think if I'm Joe Burrow and I want my best chance to win, I want to get traded to the NFC. I cannot keep doing this in the AFC.
It's like the West versus the East in the NBA.
Yep. And it's so stacked in the AFC.
So with you saying that feels like you put some thought into it, that you want him to be like, not the I made the joke of like you want him out because you're a Browns fan and he plays with Bengals, but in reality, it feels like you may have thought about this. What team do you think? Not just because we can all just make up hypotheticals of like, oh, I wish this player was traded here, but who do you think has the assets to do it that makes the most sense and that is the most plausible?
Minnesota.
Bro, you know what? I wish the Bills would do that. Not for that. Okay, I like how you said that, but here's what needs to happen. That needs to happen. And then once Minnesota has like the draft compensation, y'all send Justin Jefferson over here to Buffalo. We'll just trade for another Vikings wide receiver who's going to make Josh Allen even better, and then we'll lose in the divisional round again.
No, man, we're not doing this. At least an AFC Championship game, man. One AFC Championship game at least. I would look if Jettis was on the block. Yeah, I would love to see him in Buffalo.
The thing is that I don't know Justin Jefferson. Well, I see him like in his commercials, obviously, but like I don't know his temperament. Because some players, once they get into a certain phase, you get to see their frustration. Because even like Joe Burrow had said, like, this isn't really fun. I don't know if I enjoy doing this.
Yeah,
I don't know. So when you put it out into the universe that way, then it leaves us to be. We get to we don't write your story, but we get to write our own story about you.
Yep.
And I haven't heard Justin Jefferson really be that outspoken about wanting to get out of Minnesota. So I don't know if he even really wants to leave anyways.
No, I seen a body language. I seen him a few times, wanting to snap a few times when JJ would just overthrow him. And I'm just like, yeah, I see it. I see it right there. I see it. Like, I get it. Like, you're having a losing season. You want to pad your stats. He only scored 2 touchdowns last season. 2. You cannot be a top 3 wide receiver and only score 2 touchdowns.
That is some Julio Jones.
Yes.
And you didn't even have Matt Ryan. Like, I feel like, man, that's okay. Who do you think? All right, so I'm gonna have to get out of here in the next like 10 minutes or so. I gotta go pick up kiddo from school. But who do you think regrets the Sam Darnold experience more, the Jets or the Vikings?
The Vikings. They chose wrong. when okay, you went 14-3 with that quarterback last season. With that dude. And you chose not to pay him, and you chose JJ McCarthy, who had more questions going into this past season.
JJ JJ McCarthy to me was basically white Trey Lance without the athletic ability.
Oh my goodness.
What?
That's a good comparison there.
I also think that Josh Allen is the Luka Doncic of football, but nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that conversation either.
Damn, man. Oh shit.
I got it for days, man.
Oh my goodness. Now I'm gonna take this to a couple friends and like, y'all see this comparison here? Because I do because Luka is another player that a lot of fans make excuses for.
Share this
podcast.
Yeah, share this podcast with all your Luka friends. And if they don't want to listen to the whole thing, they don't have to, but tell them to fast forward to like an hour into it.
Yeah, I got you. Whew. But that is big facts. Big facts right there.
I was gonna say, I don't feel like and I know because the Bills fan, like I'm a bad Bills fan. No,
you're a realist. There's nothing wrong with being real. I talk to Browns fans and they don't want to be real. Like when I kept telling people I expected them to go 2-15. Yeah, they went 5-12. Who cares?
I thought you were gonna say I thought they'd go 2-15 and they went 0-16.
Listen, people were saying I'm being too negative. I'm like, we don't have a quarterback. What did you guys expect? Well, we could at least win at least 7 or 8 games. No, we're not. Our defense been on the field all throughout the season, and they're still a top 5 defense.
Our defense has been on the field since March.
Yeah, and they still finished as a top 5 defense. We couldn't even score. I think we only scored more than 20 points 4 times this season. That is crazy. You're not going to win many games when you don't score.
No, I don't want to beat the dead drum of offense matters, because people who say the whole defense wins championships or running the ball to set the pass and like all those antiquated things, like yes, they're still relevant, but that's not how things are played nowadays. But I want to get your quick thing real on coaching before we get out of here. Stefanski to Atlanta. Do you wish him well there? Do you think it's a good hire? Because I personally, from the offensive side of the ball, think that it's a great hire.
I think, yes, it is a great hire. And I think as Kevin, from his experience, he's going to grow with that, and he's going to be great in that division. I would not be surprised if Atlanta wins, I say, 11 to 13 games next season, and it's because of their offense. It'll be because of their offense. As long as Michael Penix isn't a quarterback, that's the only thing I'll say.
Oh,
he is not a drop back quarterback. And as I told, I think who's up there in the group chat, because one of the guys that's a Falcons fan, and I told him like when you watch, Zeb, when you watch Michael Penix, he's always in the shotgun. Why is that? He already.
I think he needs. I think he needs the additional split second to be able to process things.
Yeah, and he can't do that. He doesn't know how to do a drop back, and he can't without Drake London on the field. He can't read a defense. So,
yeah, it's always one of those things where like it's this quarterback is great. I'm like, yeah, but when you got somebody who's I don't want to over accentuate Drake London, but when you have the guy that it's. You could make the assessment, when people say, well, that's the security blanket, and that's usually referred to running back or tight end. But sometimes you have the wide receiver, you go, I can throw it anywhere and this guy's going to go get it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And when you don't have him, that quarterback looks less than pedestrian.
Exactly. But let's just say if it's Kirk Cousins, he knows how to manage the game and he knows how to run a Stefanski offense. When he put up those career highs in passing yards and touchdowns, who's the offensive coordinator? Kevin Stefanski. Which is another reason why I hate Baker.
I also think it's wild because Cousins is one of those dudes who he's 37,
38, and I'm just like, he's still out there doing it.
Man, barely though. I feel like if he goes down, they'd be calling Phillip Rivers. That's the way.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just trying to be a realist.
Yeah. I just don't want. I would love for the Falcons to sweep the Buccaneers because of what Baker did, to sit up there and say that Kevin didn't call him. I'm like, if I'm Kevin, I wouldn't have called you either because you was the one that came out publicly and wanted to get traded.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't have it both ways, man.
and then you quit on the team. Like that was like a lot of revisionist history when Baker does well. They don't want to talk about the negative and the bullshit that he did in Cleveland. Like going to the Christmas Day game, he threw 4 interceptions against the Packers. Why did he throw 4 interceptions? Because he didn't study that week. He didn't go over the game plan. They said that he was up there playing Xbox all night instead of him going up over the game plan.
He must have been hanging out with the Ravens. playing Call of Duty over there.
And I'm just like, man, you cannot try to sit up there and say you're a franchise quarterback and you don't want to put in the work.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is I always kind of put this thing on people where they say they want certain things in life, but they're not willing to put in the effort for it, right? Or just like be self-aware. I know for me, I can never be a cop, I can never be a teacher. I don't have that kind of patience. I don't have my anxieties ramp up too much as it is. You don't need me being out there in a field that I feel like I'm unprepared for. And if you want to be the starting quarterback, like you can say all the right things at the right times when you win, but damn it, you're going to get a lot of the love when you shouldn't. Same thing with the hate, but don't be up here trying to say that you want more when you deserve all the smoke at that point in time.
That's part of the process, man. That's part of the process.
Yeah. If you want all the love, you got to take some of the vitriol that comes with it.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, I look at a lot of these players because sometimes it is unfair, but some of them bring it amongst themselves.
Well, because like you mentioned AJ Brown earlier too, like that's one of those things where it's if you keep your head down, we're not gonna bring the drops that you had. We're not gonna bring as much attention to it if you just kept your mouth shut. Now, I know that AJ Brown's awesome, and I think that most people who consume football realize that as well. But if you're going to be vocal about what's going on, once it comes your way, and like I couldn't make that catch, and I'm not going to be here like, how did you not make that catch? But by the same token, like that is your job, and you know what? Like I've seen you do much more for less.
Yeah,
I think that's the bigger issue.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, I got to get out of here. Unfortunately, do you have anything for me before we hang it up today, man?
No, I'd like to thank you for having me on, man. Got to do this more often, though.
We do. I always love having people on. Like that's the thing is like the podcast thing is fun, but having guests on, being able to have somebody to interact with keeps the energy up. It's way more of a spirited and fun conversation. I always enjoy. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but having you and CR on, you're my 2 favorite people.
I appreciate it, man. But forget CR.
Who was that?
His Bears gave him a big head, man.
But anyway, for today, we're going to go ahead and hang it up. You've been listening to the Playbook Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcast for free. Like, share, subscribe, smash the 5-star reviews. LaShawn, Wednesdays and Thursdays are my days off. So if you think that's going to work for you next week.
All righty. Thank you. I'll let you know.
Sounds good, man. You guys know the drill. Stay up, stay blessed. We'll catch you guys in the next one.